So in order for you to understand how to hit those home runs, you got to understand how not to strike out. You got to understand what not to do as much as what to do. So let's break it down and do a little exercise here. I want you to look at these, and we're going to say what's wrong with them. Let's play the what's wrong game. So let's look at the first one. Feng Shui for the busy corporate exec. Now, there's a lot of things wrong with it, but I want the most important thing wrong with it. It's true that it's boring, it's bland, it's not that specific, it's general, it doesn't have some big benefit attached to it. All those things are true, but none of them are as important as this one critical error. And what is it? Feng Shui for the busy corporate exec. It's not because they're busy, by the way. I just threw that in there to throw you off. Okay? Here's the answer. A corporate exec, for the most part, could give two hoots about Feng Shui. They just don't care about it. Or like I like to tell the product eClass students, you can't make $1 million selling Bibles to Muslims. Just not possible. So, you're not going to be able to hit a home run trying to sell something to somebody who doesn't want it. Just not possible. Let's look at the second one there. Business Planning 101. Lot of issues with this product. Okay, again, boring, bland, general, no big benefit. All those things are true. None of them are the most important glaring mistake with this type of product, Business Planning 101. So what is wrong with it? What is the biggest thing wrong with it? Here's how I like to illustrate this so you can understand it very easily. I like to say it like this. You can jump up and down in the ocean, but the ocean doesn't really care. Nothing really happens if you jump up and down in the ocean. And that's what a Business Planning 101, this is way too big a market. You're going up against corporations who have endless budgets to promote their products. It's way too big. You're not going to be able to compete in this niche. You're going to drown in the ocean, even trying to make one sale. So you can't compete in the ocean. Too big. Okay, like I said, we don't want to jump up and down in the ocean. We want to jump up and down in puddles. And you can make a 6- and 7-figure a year easy jumping up and down. And there's lots of puddles. And there's only 4 oceans. So we can't jump up and down in the ocean. Some niches are too big for us to enter. Let's look at the third one, the Complete A to Z Guide to Real Estate. Biggest problem there? Yeah, you can't do that in one sitting. And I know we've talked about that already, but it's good to remind you. That should have immediately popped in your mind. If it didn't, it means you haven't quite got it yet. It's a new concept still to you, so you got to keep remembering. One sitting is the goal here. Let's look at the fourth one, money-making tactics for preteens. What's the biggest problem with this? Let's just say, for example, before anybody else says this, let's say you had the best lawyer and he said, this is totally good, I vetted, it's great. It's legally okay, and if that's the case, then what's the biggest problem with this? Money-making tactics for preteens. I mean, you could create this product in one sitting, right? Yeah. Well, here's the biggest problem with it. How are they going to buy it? There's not too many preteens running around with their own credit cards or permission from mom and dad to get online and buy an information product about how to make money with that credit card. It's not going to happen. So you can't hit home runs with your products and build 6-figure businesses around just one product if you're trying to sell to people who don't have any money to buy what you're selling. Just not going to happen. Finally, let's look at the final one. How to make your own deodorant. Now, there's a lot of things right with this product. It can be made in one sitting. It does solve one problem with one solution. It could be done, right? There are people who want this solution. So all these things have it going for it, but here's the problem with it. Remember earlier when I said we don't want to jump up and down in oceans, we want puddles? Well, at the same time, we don't want to jump up and down in a teaspoon of water either. Some niches are too small. You always have to remember that. I don't want to have to work tremendously hard to reach all of the market to make 6 figures. I want to be able to reach the market, but only reach a couple percentage of them and still build 6 figures. So some niches are too small. So what's wrong? Let's just do a quick recap. You can't sell stuff to people who don't want it. You can't compete in niches that are way too big. You got to do it in one sitting. You got to sell it to people who actually have money to buy it. And there's got to be enough of them. So even if you only touch a few of them, you can still do 6 figures a year.